Are you feeling exhausted? Tired? No longer wanting to carry this performer anymore? The person you have worked so hard, so carefully crafted to mask and create an image for yourself so that people cannot see the pain that you live with internally. And to also have yourself avoid the pain internally. Everybody around us has a performer. The individual we portray through ego and cast away elements that we reject into the shadow element. And why do we do this? The reason why we do this is simply a survival mechanism to some degree. See, when you are born integrated, meaning that there is no split off between ego and soul, because first of all, you don't really have much of an ego quite yet. When you're a child, things are bliss. You are in the present moment, not shackled by your traumas and past, not burdened by the weight of tomorrow. You are in this state of infinity. And it's beautiful. But there comes a moment in your development that the consciousness becomes aware, the I develops. I am. And that is the moment the split begins. Don't pick this up. Don't speak so loud. That's not funny. I don't know why you find that funny. Stop dancing around like that. That's only for boys. Stop doing that. That's only for girls. Boundaries, limitations, restrictions start to land. And for you as a child, you can't leave your home. You can't go anywhere. So you have to adapt. And so you begin the split. There are aspects of you that are welcomed, and there are aspects of you that are rejected. The ones rejected we ignore, and the ones that are accepted we create, adjust, tweak, and optimize to get the reward that we are looking for. If we have longed for intimacy and we crave it, then we're going to play a particular performer to gain it. Or perhaps we take it in a different way. Perhaps we reject it to show that we are strong. I don't need it emotionally. In fact, those that do, I despise them. They are weak to me. And therefore, our performer portrays now in a way that is controlled by the shadow, but we do not have any awareness that that's happening. But if you're still watching this, what that means is there is a breaking point happening. The soul is pushing on the brakes and saying, we are not going forward with this anymore. And the ego, confused and trying to dominate and to say, no, we need to do this. It's too painful to acknowledge. But that is a moment that you can cherish. Why? Because when that happens, the ground beneath you is moving. And that is the opportunity to shed off the narratives, the stories, and to also embrace the parts of you that you've rejected. To finally bring it to the foreground, have it sit in front of you, and to look at it, to acknowledge it, contextualize it. When you do that, it will be painful, it will be incredibly hard to deal with. I know for me, when I went through my identity loss, I wanted to be this world champion in jiu-jitsu, and I got very good and I performed very well, but it was performance based. I felt I needed acceptance from people. I felt I needed to prove myself to people. But my shadow at the same time wanted to dominate and to say those that rejected me, those that bullied me, are going to regret it now. But there came a point where I was just chasing ghosts, arguing with ghosts. They moved on with their lives. They have kids, jobs, businesses. And I have just allowed that narrative, that performance to consume. And when I hit a breaking point where my soul said, we can't do this anymore. Yeah, it was tough. It was brutal. I had to contend with the unmet, rejected parts of myself. And the way you want to self-reflect with inner dialogue is love, compassion, curiosity, adventure with a firm hand. With also the 1% rule. You want to make a 1% improvement every single day. In terms of acceptance, you want to accept just a little bit. If you can't accept it, at least acknowledge its presence. If you can't accept that you're craving love, but you've presented the exterior of power, that you do not need it, it might take bits and pieces before you can accept that and be open to receiving it. Everyone's story will be different. But if there's one thing I've learned through my own journey and the clients that I'm witnessing change, is that as you unpack, as you contend, there will be a force that exists within you as if you've connected to something. When you open up and you integrate soul and ego, draws a line right up, connects to something foreign. But it is from the inside out. No matter how much you worship, no matter how much you ritualize, imprison yourself in routine, it will not present itself to you. And if it does, that's great. It's fantastic. But from my experience, it reveals itself when you contend internally. When you understand the two polarities that exist, that you have your light, which has the drawing to do good, to help and to grow, create, but then the rejected side of you that desires destruction, greed, lust, vengeance. And to understand that if we continue to create and make that the inferior self, will continue its power over you. And it will hijack your awareness, your consciousness, your ego. Make you think things, do things, and behave in ways that once you snap out of it, you say, I don't know what happened to me. What came over me? And you'll be living with internal conflict. This battle from within. And the paradox, which is what, to some sense, integration is. It's a sense of paradox because you are both those things. You are both the individual that can do good, and you are also both the individual that can do wrong. It can hurt. And to understand and invite that shadow in, not to possess, not to embody, but to respect and to know its force so that it cannot hijack you. And so allow this state to flow. Embrace what I call being a nobody for a little bit. Abandon the titles of who you think you have to be. Put it down. And tap into the aspect of you that was once that divine child. Now, how do you do that? You can do that through multiple ways. Number one, you can do it through chaos play. Play without rules, boundaries, limitations. Creative play. Draw, paint, dance, sing, write poetry. Destructive play. Of course, not with your belongings. Maybe go to a business that actually has rooms that you can smash up and break, and it's just part of their whole service. As long as it's not destructive to your environment, like your house. You get the point. Destructive play. And then you have adventure. Explore. Point to some direction and go. And see where it takes you. And then finally, absurdity. Be goofy. Allow the impulse to make zero sense come forward. To bring joy and laughter without any thought of how you look whatsoever. The idea behind tapping into those things isn't so much that you become a kid again. It's more so to bring back some memory. It's to activate that part of you, because oftentimes it's through smells that you get reminded of an old memory, through a sight of someone that all of a sudden pings and it connects you to a memory you once had that deepens and enriches your connection with yourself. It can be through action. You play a certain way and all of a sudden, I remember I used to do that. And then when you start to tap into that state, it can remind you of that feeling of integration, where you sat between the two spaces of ego and soul, and you sat right in the center of those two worlds, where calmness resides, certainty resides, a connection with something foreign, external. You can consider calling it God or the universe. But at some point, we need to bring ourselves back into the adult psychology, but you wrap your adult psychology over the child psychology that you have. And the adult psychology acknowledges the realities of life, acknowledges that there is good and bad, and there are good and bad that exist within us, understands responsibility, and understands that sacrifice is essential to our growth. So I want this to be a call to action to you, to turn and face inward before you start projecting and shadow dumping onto somebody else, before you start getting hijacked by these complexes and these archetypes, these archetypal energies that are ancient and powerful, that when they hijack you, controls you temporarily, to bring yourself back, bring your awareness and your self-acceptance back in a deeper, richer way, not by just throwing affirmations that you're amazing. You can do it. I did it. I'm watching individuals do it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a tough road, but it's possible. If you want to go deeper with this, if this resonated with you and you want to work with me personally, you can click that button below, book a date and time for us to meet on a call, video call. And it would be my absolute pleasure to walk with you side by side on this journey towards rebuilding purpose, rediscovering who you are, navigating through your identity loss, and living an ego-soul integrated lifestyle, which is going to bring you peace, certainty, calmness, a sense of purpose again, a connection with something bigger. Or you can sign up to my mailing list, where I send out monthly newsletters, all related on these topics. And I'm also going to send you my 3-step identity rebuilding guide, as it's a toolkit that you can use to navigate through identity loss. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video.